Brought to you by Baby Lock, for the love of sewing. Sulky Threads, express yourself with Sulky and create with confidence. Our exclusive fabric partners. Be sure to look for their newest lines of fabric.
Hi, welcome to Quiltmaker's Block Network. I'm Carolyn Beam with Quiltmaker Magazine. Today I'm going to share with you Buckle Up, block number 319. This block was designed by Ann Weber and appears in Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 4. This block has lots of little circles, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to make perfect circles and how to hand applique. For this block, you're going to need one fabric that's used for the block background, multiple fabrics for the flowers, some leaves and flower center fabric, and then for the basket you'll need one main fabric and the trim and the buckle. You can find the cutting dimensions and everything else you need to make this 12-inch block on the right side of your screen. Okay, to make perfect circles, you're going to need to make templates. And I've got one here that's made out of cardboard, one out of plastic. For this method, you need to use heat-resistant plastic if you're going to use a plastic template. Now, an easy way to cut out your applique circles, I don't trace around them first and cut. I just take my scissors, position the cardboard onto the fabric, and then just do a rough cut around the circle. And you'll see you don't really need to trace that at all. It's just going to be a rough cut. So just like this. So once I've cut out my circle, I'm going to use a running stitch and sew around, just long running stitches around the circle. So I've got it mostly sewn. I'm just going to finish the last couple stitches here. And once you get back around to where you started, you're going to take your template and insert it into the wrong side of your circle and just pull these running stitches. So you're going to gather this circle around your template. Now, one thing, when you get to this point, you want to make sure that you don't have any rough edges around the outside, like right here. I want to smooth that edge. And you don't need to knot, just pull your thread tight. The reason you don't want any bulky edges around here is because that's going to stay there once we get this circle ready to sew. So at this point, I'm just holding the thread tight. It's gathered all the way around my template. Once you're sure that all your edges are smooth, you're going to use a little bit of spray starch, and I like to use the Mary Ellen's Best Press. It's just a very light starch. Give it a little spritz and take it over to your iron. And you want to be careful now that you don't get your fingers in the way. Holding your thread tight, you're just going to put the iron directly on top of your circle. I like to use hot iron on this. And at this point, you need to let it dry and cool before you remove your template, but when it's cool and dry, you can just peel back your stitching, your fabric, and just pull the cardboard out. Give a little tug again on your thread to make your circle round again. And then just take it to your iron and press it again. And there you have a perfect circle. Now I'm going to show you how to do a hand blind stitch to sew a circle onto a piece of fabric. And I'm not going to use the actual block at this point, I'm just going to use a piece of scrap fabric. Now normally you would use matching thread like this to applique, but just for the purposes of the video and to be able to see this better, I'm going to use a dark contrasting thread. So let me put a little knot in the end of it. Okay, so position your circle, and then you're going to come in from the back, and you want to grab just like a very little piece of the fabric right on the edge of the circle. So you can see I've just got a little bit of the edge, and then you're going to go back into the fabric at the same spot you came up, travel a little bit underneath, and come back up about 1/8 of an inch further down, grabbing just like a thread on the edge of the circle. Give it a little tug, go back down in the same spot, come back up just about 1/8 of an inch, grabbing only a thread, give a little tug. Now you'll notice on the back you can see that my stitches, how close they are, and this is how close you want your stitches to be. And just continue all the way around the circle until you have it appliqued down onto your background fabric. Now to finish your block, you'll need to prepare all of the patches for turned edge applique. Go ahead and finish making the number of circles that you need and position your patches onto your background and use a hand blind stitch, or you can actually use a machine blind stitch if you prefer to complete your block. So here is your completed block. Now I'm going to show you a really fun variation on how you can use this block in a quilt. As you can see, we've only used 2 blocks in this layout to make a fun little table runner. Have the blocks facing each other and just a plain square in the center and surrounded by a 2-inch border. We'd love to have you join us on Facebook to see what the staff of Quiltmaker is up to and to learn of possible sewing opportunities. You can find Buckle Up and 99 other original blocks in Quiltmaker's 100 Blocks Volume 4. Thanks for joining me today on Quiltmaker's Block Network, and I hope you'll join us next time. And just press. Oh, only me, right? Only me.